Hi, Mariam here, counsellor and holistic psychotherapist. I've been working in the field of mental health for over 10 years now, and I just want to talk today in this video about something that I've noticed a lot of my clients very innocently doing, but not realising the negative impact that it's having on their mental health, on their anxiety and their immunity. So I figure lots of other people are probably doing exactly the same thing. And so I want to share why it's really important and what you can do to counter the effects of that and to actually support and strengthen your immunity and reduce the amount of anxiety that you might be experiencing at this very sort of challenging and fear-inducing time that we're all in at the moment. So let's get going. The first thing that I want to talk about is the media, the news, and the information that we are taking in from our environment. Now, the reason that this is important is because our immune system doesn't just rely on the food and good water and exercise and those kinds of things. It also has, it is also influenced by the thoughts that we have and the way that the environment influences how we feel and how we respond. So we know that scientists have somehow discovered that we have 50,000 to 70,000 thoughts a day. 50,000 to 70,000 thoughts a day. That is a lot of thoughts, and we are not conscious of most of them. It's impossible to be conscious of most of them, and so they are running in the background. We're not aware of them. They're just recycled. They're on loop. But the quality of those thoughts depends on lots of different things. The way we think about ourselves, the way we think about the world, how we perceive lots of different things. And so what we are listening to, what we are reading, what we are sharing and how we are talking about them will impact the quality of those thoughts that are generated, that the mind generates. Now, every single one of those thoughts has a corresponding reaction or trigger in the body, whether or not you realize it, whether or not you feel it. So to kind of emphasize this point, if I got you to think about the last time that you felt stressed, anxious or angry, and you sat there for a few minutes and you just started to think about that situation that made you feel that way, and you started to remember what was said, what she said, what he said, what you said, what you were wearing, you would notice that after a shorter period of time, that your body starts to respond as though it's happening now. You might start to feel a racing heart, you might start to feel sweaty, you might start to feel angry and anxious and stressed all over again, even though you're in the comfort of your own home. So we know that the mind and body are connected. They're not separate entities, they are connected. So everything that we think triggers a response in the body and enables us to, and it influences our emotions. So when we have thoughts that are very sort of fear-based and anxiety invoking, it triggers the stress response in our system. When the stress response is triggered, that's the fight, flight, the sympathetic nervous system. It means that our system is preparing us for a perceived threat. And so what it does is it suppresses the non-essential systems in the body. Those are systems like your digestion, your prefrontal cortex, which is the thinking, rational, logical mind, which is why we can't think properly when we're stressed and anxious. But most importantly for this particular time, it also suppresses our immunity. Our immune system becomes suppressed when the stress response is activated, when we are in sympathetic dominance. Now, obviously, at the moment, we want our immune systems to be strong and healthy. So we want to be doing everything that we can to strengthen it. And that includes the quality of our thoughts and the way that we are thinking and talking. And so the news, which is obviously very sensationalized, which is obviously very fear-inducing, is going to be playing a part in the way that our anxiety, those thoughts are created. So because we cannot possibly, as I said, be aware of all of those thoughts, we need to become mindful of what we are taking in from our environment and how we are talking and sharing about that. So what I'm encouraging my clients to do is to really consider limiting the amount of information that you take in around what's going on to really just once a day. Once a day is more than enough to be informed, to be updated and to be safe. Anything more than that, then you are doing your immune system a disservice, you are doing your anxiety levels a disservice, and you are you are contributing to the creation of fear-based thoughts in your mind that are automatic and generated without your consent. So the second thing that I wanted to talk about is what we can do to counter what's going on at the moment. And it's so simple, but I don't want it to be dismissed as something you've heard before because of the power of it. And that is gratitude. So practicing gratitude at a time like this is going to be so important. And a beautiful, simple practice to do is to simply scan your day and notice, pull out the things that you can be really grateful for, that you feel blessed for, that made you smile. They can be simple things, little things, like a conversation that you had with someone, or the breakfast that you ate, or the sun on your skin, whatever it is. And at the end of the day, what you do is you write them down. So write down 3 to 5 of these things, or more if there are more that you can find. But the practice doesn't end there. The invitation then is to really spend at least 5 minutes just meditating on the things that you've written. Now, this is a beautiful practice because by literally looking at that piece of paper of the words that you've written down and focusing your attention on it, you're drinking in those words, you're drinking in the things that have happened in your day, and it's like you're training your mind and your body to really focus, really receive, really notice these things that have occurred in your day that ordinarily and usually might have gotten dismissed as unimportant or just as something that happens. So we know that where the energy goes, where we put our energy and our focus, it allows that energy to grow. So if our energy and focus is mostly on the news and the media and what's going on at the moment, and it's all very fear-based, then that is the energy that is going to grow in our system. But if we can limit that, and we can instead also focus on the things that we can be grateful for, we are truly blessed for, that we are appreciative of, then the energy of that can also grow within us. And the brilliant thing about that is that it triggers the parasympathetic nervous system when we practice gratitude. It sends calming signals in the body when we really focus on what we are grateful for. And when we are in the rest and digest, the parasympathetic part of the nervous system, then our immune system is boosted. Our body is able to create the immune bodies. It's able to focus on the restorative and healing aspects of our body that can only be done when we are out of threat, we are in safety, and we are in that parasympathetic, relaxed and calm state. So I hope this all makes sense, and I hope you find this helpful. Please feel free to ask me any questions, and I would love to hear in the comments what you're grateful for. So please feel free to do that, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.